So check it out. This is a behind the scenes of the song podcast, and I recently just dropped a new album called Slight Detour, and it's more or less just a means that the spark within myself creatively, and just a guy who's been doing this rap shit for a long time. I don't let a lot of things discourage me nowadays, especially things that I have goals for. So being goal oriented just kind of makes me press even harder. You have a lot of cats that'll have their spirit broken within the first downturn of events, the first hint of falderall, calamity, drama, what have you. And I've been never one to let any of that bullshit get me down. For what? You know? Who? Why should I stop rapping? To appease you? Who did not agree with what I had going on? So anybody who is an artist, especially if you are an older artist, I will advise you, like I tell my friends, cats I consider my brothers, women I consider my sisters, my associates, my collaborators, my creative partners, people I share ideas with, my war room, what else? My, my writers team, even though, let's just keep it funky 100, I write all my stuff. But when I say writers team, I mean just when we're putting together something outside of this hip-hop shit, because I do have goals in my life. I'm trying to put together a movie, and I'll tell everybody who wants to listen to me that I am gonna do it. I mean, at least I'm gonna attempt. I'm gonna take some steps. But get back to what I'm saying is, don't let no one shame you out of being creative. Being a creative is sometimes the last beacon of ourselves, as I believe, when we are no longer youthful, no longer as strong or as good looking, as especially if you're an athlete. When you don't have those things, when those things fade away, among other things, I can't think of them right now, the creativity is something that stays intact and holds true to the essence of you. And so I'll just tell you, I'm not begging no one, but don't let no one shame you out of being creative, out of being an artist. Don't let any of these pedestrian people who gave up on their own hopes and dreams, or didn't even have them, tell you like, oh well, you shouldn't do that. No, do what you want. Be a creative. Always create. You don't have to be the best. I've seen some people who create things that are not good, not to me, but it's not my place to tell them that they suck. They suck to me, but I also got to put myself in a lens or in a perspective that I am just in a different perspective that they haven't reached yet or will not reach. So aside from that, this is behind the Song podcast. So speaking of, I did have last week I dropped an album called Slight Detour, which was basically that. I had to take a slight detour from my creative process because I am really with the label that I'm running right now, and it's still in its infancy. I got my tax ID, and I'm just really just connecting all my other ventures together to be like a mogul, but I'm not, but yeah, I'll say I'm mogulizing myself. But yeah, no, I'm just really just putting some real paperwork up on my creative endeavors, just so when I monetize it, it kind of can work in my favor. Because everything that you leave out in the world, and that's another thing too, put out your work, man. Don't just sit on that shit. Fuck the vault. Prince had the vault, but Prince had every intention of putting music out. Don't be selfish with your art because you don't think it's good enough. Just because I think it sucks. But it's not my place to tell you that your shit sucks. Some people don't like my stuff, but a lot of times they say they don't like my stuff because they don't like me, which is a whole other different episode, which is totally some weirdo shit, which I'm not even going to care to even get into. They don't get no light from me. But I had to take this slight detour, and that was basically the basis of the first song, called Slight Detour. That first song basically said that, just because my flash drive gets corrupted because I overloaded it with shit or whatever, doesn't mean that I'm going to throw in no towel. I don't throw in towels. I don't tap out. You either got to knock me out or the ref stops it. So I keep pressing forward and I keep going for mine, because that's what we do. Ain't no hoes in this shit. But yeah, so the song's really about taking a slight detour, and Saba Sun presses on. Just because I lose a chunk of data and I had to get it extracted, and I'm currently in the process of digging that shit all back out. Frustrating. Yes, it is, if you ask the question. Time consuming. Yes, and yes again. But writing the whole album, 9 tracks, so it's like an EP. But the whole album, I did it over a weekend, just because I was just like, man, I can't have too much silence. I gotta drop something, and I'm not beholden to no label master. I am the label. With my collaborators, with other cats that I do music with, frequent collaborators. Not that I depend on them, but I wouldn't say that they are my artists. They are their own artists, and if I always tell them they're free to do their thing, and I want them to do their thing. We're kind of like a network, curated artist collective of MCs/producers, and we're gonna grow it. We'll probably get some DJs and some more graphic artists, and for at this stage we are looking for street team members, digital street team members who will post our shit and kind of put videos out when we put them out, to kind of help purvey the land a little bit more than whatever. And I just got to figure out some type of incentive for them. Cash is always good, but for the task, for it to be cash, there's got to be some other things put into that. But yeah, for the most part, digital street team members, DJs, and I've been out here just looking out for some college radio spots. But the song Slight Detour is basically like my tour de force is saying, like, I press forward, even go back to that. It's done over a beat that produced by Mom Placebo down there in South Florida, who is an excellent producer. Also has his podcast, Speak Your Clout. He reviews classic hip-hop albums, and he has a vast CD collection of hip-hop, 90s hip-hop, 80s hip-hop, and a really good dude, and definitely proud to do music with that guy, because everything we've done has been bangers. And if you like my music and you know Mon Placebo, you've heard Mon Placebo, especially if you've heard my music in the last 3 years. Mon Placebo has greatly contributed to what I've done, and can't thank that man enough, along with the other cats that are on this album. Also on this album is DJ Camo produced something, a British producer. I want to say he's from London, but London is just your go-to. He's probably not from London, but his name is Kilgrave, a really dope producer. Has a nice vaporwave texture to his music, but not quite vaporwave. It's not quite lo-fi, not quite vaporwave, but it's got that feel. You know what I'm saying? It's got that Akira anime feel to it. I produced some tracks. One I used I'll bleep it out, Sun Ra sample, and the other one was from one of my other weapons, which I'll tell you later on. That'll probably be another episode about expressing my love for said website. And if you know, you know. It's a mini podcast. We're 11 minutes in. So, yeah, man, I just kind of really wanted to get it in. And I didn't have no vocal features on it, even though I like to have features on my stuff. It kind of gives the listener, in my opinion, a variety in their ear, just like production. My sound is my sound, and I'll probably change it up at some point whenever I decide I want to buy some new gear. But until then, you'll just have the sound that you'll have from me, and you'll have the sampling that you expect me to have, which is, I do prefer a lot of jazzy stuff, just because I am a product of the 90s, and they used a lot of jazz, so I use jazz, and I am a appreciator of jazz. So, why hate on that? I'm also going to make this maybe like a multi-part podcast, so I'm just going to cover each of my albums, and then in my group chat, I told everybody that I was doing this, so within the group chat, I said, well, if you guys think this would be a good idea, hit me up, and we can find some way to do discussions and record this shit down and talk about songs together, and it won't just be about me. Or you guys can even clip stuff in talking about the song from your side, and then we'll just add it in, because it's just like a stream of consciousness podcast or whatever. But yeah, actually, if you give me a quick moment, I will go through the tracks, and then just whatever. And then at the end, I'm gonna tack the actual song to the explanation of things that I have going on, so you guys can have a little bit of music to enjoy, and it won't just be all me just yapping my fucking mouth, talking shit. But a little bit about me. If you don't know, I go by Oktane. I go by Master Sunwise. I go by many names in the arena of hip-hop. I am a painter, visual artist. Started making my way into 3D sculpture, pottery, stuff like that. Make my ways into the arena of professional wrestling. Wrestled in the indies for some 18 years. like I said, maybe for another podcast, but this is what I'm doing right now for myself. This is the Oktane Saba Sun quick minutes. I'll do that. The Saba Sun minutes. Because I'm not going a whole marathon hour. I might, but I'm not. So, there you go. I've spitballed long enough. And I will quickly give you a rundown of what's to come. So, as far as, I guess, this season, and I'll try my best to be consistent, to actually talk about the music in greater detail. Just like, not so much a slight detour, but slight detour is great detail. But it's basically a song about the album as to why I made the album. But not really, but really. So yeah, we're going to cover Random Lost Case Study, Hustler's Poetry, Clean Getaway, Random Lost Access Case Study 2, Just Speaking to Y'all, Land Masses, Random Lost Case Studies 3 in another form. And I'll probably cover them day by day and then release them. Maybe YouTube. That's where I most likely want to drop them, but I will probably make these reels because they are in short form and I think they would be great for the social media. So, aside from that, good talking to you people, to those who are the fan of the Saba Sun Collective, and appreciate everybody who are fans of the whole. So I will send a special shout out to the members of Saba Sun. Just to get it down, one shout out to my longtime friend, like my brother. I mean, about as close to me as anyone could get. Shout out to the Grizzly Savage. Shout out to the man who, shout out to the Grizzly Savage because he's the man that, I've been in a group with, Diabolical Hideaway. Myself, sometimes his brother's in the group whenever he's feeling up to it. We have another cat named Blade Brown who's with us, who is a friend of Grizzly Savage, who raps with us sometimes. And there's another generation that may come up behind that, but so that's the crew, the local crew. Shout out to the man who helped me put together Saba Sun initially, the War God, the God Allah born supreme. In the rap world, they call him A-Preem. The abbot, sort of say, of the seven-headed dragon, the mastermind behind Seven-Headed Dragon. We are working on our third album, Unleash the Kraken, currently. Just like we're going back to Diabolical Hideaway, we are getting ready to drop our album very soon, very close to the edge of finishing Worldwide Chaos. Should be done, sooner than you think. Shout out to the man known as Tony the Goon, aka the original Mr. Blue, member of the Foundation, which I am a member of. I have the hat and the shirt to prove it. Can't tell me different. Shout out to the new 9-3, young cat making his way up in this rap world. He showed up with business, stood on business, and gets better every time I hear him on the mic. Every time I hear him, he comes out with a new fire verse. Shout out to my brother coming out with a new album, that Riggs and Murtaugh. Shout out to MC Gravity, who is doing not only his thing on the mic out there further east in Jacksonville, and does it every week, does big shows. He's the mailman. He's the mailman of this rap shit. Gets on the mic, host, does shows, does songs. Pretty much locked into the historical culture of Florida. And we're getting ready to drop a EP, The Righteous Weapon. Shout out to my brother Atreyu. The 850 FM, something that we kind of put together, and Trey's very nice on the mic. Just kind of imagine Eminem, but Mexican, and likes to pick doper beats. No dispersion on Eminem, you know, he does his thing. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to my brother Showtime, also another brother that I've shared the ring with for a good 18 years, and he's dope on the mic. I've seen that man get on the mic and turn a crowd when the crowd decided they were out of the performance from another MC. I seen him turn a whole crowd around after they thought they was gonna, they thought they saw the main event. He came back and showed them why he's the main event as well. So hell of a performer in more ways than one, in ring and on stage. Shout out to my brother Born Fifth of the Black and Tan. Excellent producer, excellent MC out west in the Inland Empire. We're working on projects. We dropped 2 projects already, back-to-back Black and Tan projects, and we're working on another one, Paragon, with the brother Prev Marco. We're Saba Sun. We're doing our thing, and we are the Saba Sun's crew, which means 7 Sun, and we are out here trying to make a conquest. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to take over. We're trying to create ripples in the pond. We're trying to create waves in the pond, and that's awesome. Also, man, I want to send a shout out to the brother Corey Chavis, one half of the illustrious. If you're a hip hop fan, you like him. He's dope. But if you're a wrestling fan, World Tag Team Champions for the NWA, World Tag Team Champions for ROH, with one John Davis, Dark City Fight Club, but Corey, he used to be called Corey the Butcher, but he's Corey Chavis, and Corey Chavis is nice on that mic, super sick. Shout out to the brother Guillotine, one of the sharpest. That first 7-headed dragon, there have been reports of cats coming back to me saying that the Guillotine's verse was the coldest verse on 13th Floor on that whole album. You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's not like a downplay on me or the God, but cats love that. They love that verse. That verse was fire. The voice and the whole design of everything that came in that song on that beat produced by my brother Apreen came with like just a well-timed, delivered precision tomahawk strike with a nuclear warhead on it, and Guillotine brought that. So shout out to the brother Guillotine, and hopefully we get another Guillotine Regime album with Apreen Placebo and himself, the brother Guillotine. And I want to send a shout out to my brother Abno, Trey Point Fire. We still working on things, but the brother out there in the D doing his thing, putting down tracks, and he's nice on the mic, super nice on the mic. We call him Uncle Abno, Uncle Abby, aka Mr. 40, Mr. $40. Got one of the illest shoe collections in the chat whenever he's in the chat. Shout out to that brother. But yeah, man, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this shit up, man. We've gone for at least 25 minutes, and I kind of want to tack a song on the end of this thing. So, yeah, man. Enjoy Slight Detour. And, yeah, man, we're going to make some more things happen, man. I'll see y'all soon, all right? Peace. Pardon the absence, there's a breach in my data. Shoulda made me flip, made a brother matter. Some cats just quit. I just resalvaged it. Now it's pitting me in archaeology. At times I had the psychology to do so, but what I do know, move and press on. Beyond all the hate, situational setbacks. To those who left the sun, you went off track, never to be seen. The light won't hit ya. Seeds, no rest. The beef is your problem. I stood on business. Burned the weak and wicked. Went for self, no crystals and mystics. No tarot cards in my time of crisis. Look self in the mirror, recognize the likeness. Chronicle of a scientist with the pen. I scribe this. Yeah, slight detour. We're nowhere for sure. Everywhere is present. Take it all with no effort. Slight detour. Nowhere for sure. Everywhere is present. Take it all with no effort. On the quest to find useful land. Move the earth with my hand to reflect my mind. I only leave the signs to better mankind. To better mankind. On the quest to find useful land. Move the earth with my hand, just reflect my mind. I only leave better signs to better mankind. To better mankind. Treasures whenever, when I sever material, bangers in the ether, the miracle of speakers, enjoyment of life come forward. Through the mic device, educated God, understanding the self. So this slight detour is something I felt. So I proceed to show off the deep leagues, show you the troubled waters, the storms, the norms. Every day, my disposition not so warm, nor you have been warmed. So we go left, see what remains in this southern living. Every single step is a destination, estimating that we making only history. So tell the truth, be ugly, raw, smooth. Everything said is out here, that's a jewel. The shit's a groove, I shall not lose. 30 years in this with the faster tools. There's a slight detour, nowhere for sure. Everywhere is the present. Take it all on the quest to find useful land. Move earth with my hand to reflect my mind. I only leave signs to better mankind. To better mankind. On the quest to find useful land. I move earth with my hands to reflect my mind. I only leave signs to better mankind. To better mankind. To better mankind. Hey yo, this is Oktane, Saba's son, many other crews respectfully, and these are the minutes. Tonight, this week, or however you're getting this, we are covering the album in a collective long form, slight detour, which I said in a previous episode, because this is episode 2. On episode 2, we will cover the song Random Lost Case Files, produced by Kilgrave. Kilgrave is out of England. The cat is dope. Like I said, he's got a dope vaporwave sound. Best way to describe it, it's vaporwave, city pop like, very dreamscape like beats. So like with this actual beat, he sent me 3 beats, and they literally sat in my hard drive for like 4 years. And as I was copying and pasting stuff out of there, taking beats out and cleaning stuff up, because I get a lot of advertisements for Lord knows what, I go towards the tail end, and sometimes I do the reverse and see what's the oldest, and then just try to clean out that thing, because I always run out of space perpetually. You know, so much so that I've given myself the liberty of alternate emails, just so people can send other shit and I don't miss nothing. All interconnected. Anyway, so Random Lost Case Files. The beat, best way I would describe it, that it's very dreary, rainy, slow-paced, with a droning, swinging bass line, slow, methodical drum pattern or break beat. And like I said, all the 3 beats he sent me were all fire, and I used all of them. This song was actually originally going to be something else for another album when I did discover it, and I was going to split them up amongst 2 other MCs. And then I just decided, because like I said, the project's kind of slowed down a little bit, I just decided, let me go ahead and just use these beats and make something of it, just because I can always replace beats and just make new stuff. And I think we were with the new project that we're working on, the Paragon project with Born Fifth and Prev Marco, I think we might do some slight directional changes as far as like the creative on that goes. Just maybe put some different songs on there. But anyway, it's just something I had volunteered at first, and then I said, well, we can do something a little different, just so all 3 of us can be on a song together. But anyway, so the Kilgrave beat, slow, methodical, dark theme, dark feel, cloudy, dream-like, almost like a rainy cityscape in the 80s, something that like you would see in a John Woo flick, maybe something that you would hear in something that's post excuse me, something that's kind of like post 1970s Jackie Chan, the killer John Woo, Donnie Yen, that type of feel. And the subject matter, like, if you know me, then I will tell you this anyway, because a lot of you don't, but a lot of you will if you listen to this. Will get to know me and how my creative process works. So a lot of times I'll hear a beat, and if it feels like something, I just kind of like start shaping my song to that, just so I can kind of capture what the beat feels. Sometimes I do that. I mean, if I'm writing quick. But a lot of times if I have something in mind, which the over looping theme of this album was to kind of create a jazz feel. Even down to the artwork was kind of, I wanted to kind of look and be reminiscent of the art covers that you would have saw on something that came from A&M in the 1960s, or Blue Note or something like that, where it has all the weird shapes, the interconnected shapes with the long striations, the big squares, the little squares, the obtuse triangles, and you have that contrast of like color splash and then a black and white photo that was almost like cut out and pasted on. So with that being said, I was just like, well, if it has kind of like a jazzy feel, piano, artsy, that's what I was aiming for. Most of my albums have concepts. Just about everything I do carries a big general over looping concept, which I try to aim for every project, and every project is slightly different, even though there is a sound that I always kind of tap into. Not always the same sound, so sometimes I'll use whole producers that will capture something, and I won't produce anything, but sometimes I will produce things and just use a mishmash or hodgepodge of different producers and just kind of build everything around what I was producing. So with Lost Case Files, I wanted to, and I did this in 3 installments, so I will talk in depth about each song. So this one is kind of like a general sweeping thing about people who've lost it all. A mother with a hungry child. You're getting desperate because the baby is gonna want to eat. Hunger is not, it's a human condition, and it's something we live with. We're born with hunger. We die with hunger. And you think about the different choices in life. She has a choice. Do I steal to provide sustenance because I'm a dollar short? Do I do unfortunate things because I'm a dollar short? Did I not work hard enough because I am, Next part of it talks about a man who had everything, lost it all because of his habits. It could be a situation to where something was so catastrophic and so detrimental and so heart-crushing, soul-crushing, that it drove him into the bottle. It put him in the bottle. The demon grabbed him and pulled him in. And now he's so far gone and so far deep down into that addiction and depression and despair that it literally took him. He's walking dead, He's in the mental grave. He's got the shakes. His body has now manifested the vice that took his mind. Then there is the vice of ego, where I talk about a young person making that decision to cause harm or be harmed. And is there a way out? He says, I got the thing and I got an MF for wishing. Now, what do you wish to be out of that situation? Or do you wish to assert your dominance and show people that you are now the terror that has afflicted and terrorized you for your short young life? Youth is a thing that is fleeting, right? Youth and beauty, I guess. And it's so precious, youth is, that people will take advantage of it, try to destroy it every which way, and then there's some people who take innocence to where youth will deplete itself, and you have to go into another realm, even though in the physical realm of where you were at, you have to become what you think is an adult in the mind. And that's a tough decision, because you can tell a young person, think with your logical mind, but your brain is not yet developed. Your heart is wild and on fire, and you allow your emotions, especially when you're young, to overrun everything. You run on emotion, run on adrenaline, run on fire, no tomorrow. I live for the moment. And unfortunately, a lot of our young people do that. But that song's about that. It's about these moments. It's about living in the moment. And then the moment is a dire moment to where someone depends on you. It's about living in the moment to where you think about the past and all the moments that you lived in have brought you to physical decay, mental decay, alone, cold, starving, deprived of anything wholesome. And then the scenario of on the road to decay, a case study, a random lost case study, because all these conditions, everybody knows somebody or have gone through it, went through it, came back. Some people have never returned. Some people have touched the surface. Some people are still in the glacier. They're still swimming in those deep, dark waters, and they have no way out. And it's just up to either the individual or up to the charity of others who care to maybe pull you out, or at least point it out to pull you out. Sometimes we don't know which way is up or back and forth, left, right. We just in the dark spinning. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because it's random. It's random, and it's a sea of humanity, right? And nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. You're alone with your baby. You're alone with your emotions. You are just alone with your vices. And that is basically random lost case studies. 3 case studies that were randomly lost in the sea of humanity. And we try to make our way through all of that. You know? And sometimes we see it and we step over it, you know? You know, how many times have you been driving, you see a guy holding a sign, and we're so jaded as people and as a society to where there may be somebody who genuinely needs help, not embarrassed. But then you'll say, yeah, I don't trust that guy. That guy, he can get a, you know, if he's man enough and grown enough and able-bodied enough to stand out there for all hours of a day, he could be a greeter at Walmart. He could work at a gas station. You know, we really don't know what's going on inside that individual's head. We don't know what's going on in that individual at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could be actually a bad person. He could probably be a person accused of crimes that's all he can do. And so you can feel bad. You can. It's your right to, or you cannot, and it's also your right to feel bad or not, because it's random occurrences. And you just kind of like, you see it, you're just like, damn. And then and even if you have a bad day, you know, some people with their right logical mind could be mad about something that was a slight minor inconvenience. You look and you're like, damn, man, damn. Couldn't be me though. But damn, man, whatever I'm dealing with is not so crazy. I don't have a hungry child at home. I'm not captured by my vices. I'm not about to throw my life away, or had thrown my life away, and now I'm sitting in a prison cell. Could be worse. But yeah, that's Random Lost Case Studies, the first installment. There's 2 more parts, but we'll cover that later. So here's the song. Peace. Oktane. The Minutes. A mother and child, no car, the store is far. Hunger takes no breaks, but there's no mistakes. Man gone mad, shake starting in his hand. Once on land, but the vices took over, not in the plans. Couldn't get over. Young man with a pistol, major life decisions. Heart full of hate, got a motherfucker wishing. Group of young wolves go on a mission. There's a deacon someplace, somewhere, speaking to a politician. That man you elect is practicing benign neglect, here to collect, move up to a higher office, even under fire. Lobbyists have better offers. Find your needs, feed it to the greed. And that same mother, she $1 short. Due to inflation, she gotta buy to thief it. Desperate living's how you perceive it, how you bleeding. Where's the desperate needs? Yo, Kill Grave. I can't believe this motherfucker be sat in my email for like 3 years. My bad, G. Them shits is fire. I had to take a slight detour. Peace.
Reliving killings from the classic westerns. Reliving killings from the classic westerns.
Yo, what up? How you doing? This is Oktane. These are Minutes. Episode 3. In the Omnibus of the latest album drop, slight detour, which came out a couple of days ago as of this recording. As I said in the previous episode, we covered Slight Detour. We covered lost case studies, excuse me. And we're just going to continue along and cover Hustler's Poetry. Hustler's Poetry. Produced by Mont Placebo, down there from South Florida, West Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, Broward County area. Excellent producer. Utilized the EPS 16 Plus, a machine notably used by luminaries such as Evidence, The Alchemist. I think Prodigy from Mobb Deep used it. LP respectively from Company Flow, Run the Jewels, and he's also the CEO of, or was the CEO of Def Jux Recordings, by way of Raucous Records. That's another podcast. Flipped a sample that was used on a famous record, flipped by a world famous group. And if you heard the sample, if you bought the album, heard the sample, or you streamed the album, you would know the sample. Anyway, so the song Hustler's Poetry just broke down just what goes on when you're out here day to day trying to get yours, trying to make a name for yourself, legal or illegally. A lot of people are hustlers in the right sense of the word, meaning that they make something out of nothing. You have a lot of phony hustlers. They are what you call opportunists, who decide that they want to take things that are opened up to them and partake in the festivities of getting money. Whereas a true hustler makes opportunities for themselves where there are none. There are no doors to be opened. There are no windows. It is only a wall. So, there's a wall, but there's trees. They build a ladder, crawl over that wall. If there's a glass ceiling, they'll find a hard object to shatter that ceiling, to climb above and to explore what's on the other side of that surface. And that's what that's about. Also, the poetry of a hustler is, in the sense of the word, of where, or in the terms of hip hop down south, you have a lot of you have the mass epidemic of poverty, of hatred, self-hatred, not in the lights of you look at your skin and you say, I don't like who I am, but it's the self-hatred, meaning I hate who I am because of this situation given to me. So I'm gonna take the initiative and break free of that said situation. And when you do that, what becomes of that? How does that operate? That's the thing that I feel that it's always been explored. It's not nothing new and inventive or innovative or anything like that. This is an open source subject matter. It's a subject matter that has been covered. It is a age-old tale that a man puts himself in trouble to make some money. But in reality, a hustler who deals and does his business within the streets make very little money. Sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes they say, well, you're better off working a regular 9 to 5. The penitentiary chances are not there. You're just there. You make your money. You're on a clock. But then some people don't want to be on a clock. They don't. They feel like they are obligated to something that is excuse me, sneezing, man. Anyway, they feel like they're obligated to this space of a monster that wants to take your life away, take the grains of sand away. But really, I mean, prison does the same thing. Poverty does the same thing. Death is eternal. It takes everything. It is beyond time and space. It takes your existence. And that's what Hustler's poetry is. It's the account of everything that you have to take in every time you stand on that corner, every time you walk on that sidewalk. Your blood could be left there. Your life could be left there. Your essence could be evaporated there. And it's one of those things to where you have some choices to make. And let me see, I've got some passages I could read from it. So, like, think about this. Like, I have the hook that says hustlers poetry. Every day's a university, universally recognized. Every day could be do or die, so take a life. You know what I'm saying? So that means that every day you out there, you learning, right? You learning, you striving, and you earning. But every day's a lesson, right? You either go see somebody get got in some type of way, you go see somebody lose it all in some type of way. I mean, even if it's not jail or death, you see cats that lose it, meaning you see people who already lost every day. That's the thing. You gonna learn from it. And do you really learn from it? You see people lose it all the time. You learn to take advantage sometimes of the misfortune of others, the downfall of others. Going back to first verse of the song, I talk about you can't trust your day ones. What makes you think you're gonna trust a stranger? Because sometimes that same stranger could be someone that you don't aspire to be. Those may be the people that hurt you the fastest, because they're the most desperate. They are the most destitute, the most desolate, the most who have the ones who have the most to gain and the least to lose. And it's easy to lose when you're in debt to something. And I'm not talking about zero. Zero means that you were able to leave with just your life and your peace of mind, right? That's zero in the streets, and how I see it. That's, you got to leave with nothing. Nothing gained, nothing lost, right? You left even. You left with a peace of mind. You left with your faculties intact. That's if you're lucky. Because even if you win at this, did you really win? You can only be successful so many times until it's time to give it up, or it's time to pay it all back. And I think that everybody within that world tends to they play that game. It's always like, it's not like the movies, but it is like the movies. And I'll explain to where you'll say, oh, well, this one last time. Or even this, like, in reality, it's not the one last time they get you. They've been wanting to get you. They knew what you were doing the whole time. They were just waiting for you to get yourself so deep in the water, so deep in the debt of society's social ills, that when it was time for them to pull the plug on you, it was just insurmountable. Because, yeah, they could have pulled the plug early on you and got you, but would it have been enough to put you away forever? To bury you alive? Probably not. So they wait, and they wait, and they wait until you are just sitting on the biggest pile of shit, for them to reap what you sowed. And you reaping what you sowed. You make the choice. And that's what I'm saying. It is the universal law of attraction. You've done so much negative, the negative will eventually fall on you. And sometimes the law will come to you and find out what you were doing and find out who you were, because they knew who you were the whole time. They just wanted to take. They just wanted the bigger take. Because they want to leave absolutely no doubt in their mind that you will be put away for a significant amount of time with no way to really truly you can redeem yourself already in your mind the first time you do something evil to somebody and be like, I didn't mean to do that, but now I live with this slight feeling of remorse. Some people don't have a conscience. There's some people who do feel bad for everything they do because they feel like there's no way out. And that's cool. You know, I understand. I mean, there are choices to be made, but perspective is everything, right? And that's what that song's about. It's about you feeling that you didn't have a way out. You always did, but it was more so about how you timed everything. What were you willing to do? Were you willing to like pull that plug out when it was time? You got to time everything. Like, are they watching you enough? You pull the plug and it's like, well, we can get him now, and if he beats the case, we may not ever have a chance to get him, but he may have opportunities to do more evil because shit's addictive. It is an addictive world. It is very attractive and alluring. Money comes fast, and that's a drug. It's a dopamine hit. It's not so much the chemical dependency, but the dependency of instant gratification, instant satisfaction. And that's what that song's about. It's about the battle between instant satisfaction and the guillotine that hangs over your head. How many times are you going to hit that dopamine button until, you know, before that big ass blade comes down, chops your neck right off, head rolling, off with his head, and now they find the next victim. And you're not just a victim, and I'm not even saying the choice is yours, because there's a lot of things in place that decide your fate, right? Or not even decide your fate, but it kind of shows you the illusion of what your fate is. You could choose not to believe that illusion, just like people telling you you can't do this and can't do that. You can also choose to be like, this isn't my reality. This is not the reality for me. So I'm going to do what it takes to get away from this reality. But unfortunately, there are, I wouldn't say infinite, but there are infinite possibilities amongst combinations of people, near infinite, but there are insurmountable odds that are against you. And that song's about that. The dopamine hit versus the odds versus that sword of Damocles that's ready to chop you in half and feed you to the Leviathan, which is our justice system, or feed you back into the same beast which you came from, because America eats her young. But quick shout out to the Saba Sun family, and without further ado, here is Hustler's Poetry. Enjoy. The grind gets longer, the tools is cheaper, quality is weaker. Now we move the house around, move to the action sounds. Wound too tight, stress here and is overbearing. Get off too light, the ride of a hustler, watch who strike. Could be your best friend, some cat on a bike. Motherfuckers ain't for life, sticks and pipes, veins full of venom. They think they be winning, check their track record. They was weak way back then, so just know Stray niggas try to be friends, can't even trust your day ones in the life you in. What makes you think that trade picks is trying to win, so let it sink in. Then the herd on my word, never on a purge, but inside a world of hurt, a world of scum which I lurk. Life guide, doing dirt. Life guides of doing dirt. The life guides of doing dirt. Hustlers poetry. Every day is university. Universally recognized. Get away, it's do or die. So take a life. Hustlers poetry. Every day is university. Universally recognized. Get away and be do or die. So take a life. Danger, danger out your door. Sundown means war. All this for the fortune. Addictive extortion. Small portions. Missions and warship. Hyundais and Kias. Random old beaters. Ready to put a nigga with figures into the ether. Turn down your speakers, modes of attack. So I stay behind cars, never relax. True facts, you shouldn't either. No one's a true believer till the fear of God. Dummies assume you a fraud, and they pay for it, making the street tells historic be on some gory shit. High velocity into a fine mist. Understand the gist, flick of the wrist so you can look at the risk. Problems exist forever in the trap. Hitting licks in this bitch. Hitting licks in this bitch. Hitting licks in this bitch. Hitting licks in this, yeah. Hustlers poetry. Everyday university. Universally recognized. Get away and be do or die. So take a life. Hustlers poetry. Every day is university. Universally recognized. Get away and be do or die. So take a life. It's poetry, man. Jazz, the class I was told to take. Oh, shit. My shirt, I'm a good Neville. Yo, peace. What's going on, everybody? It is, what is today's date? March 10th. You know the year. This is Oktane Minutes Podcast. Behind the songs, very short form. The songs behind the songs. I'm doing a live as well. I might not keep the live. I might keep the live. But I'm going to talk about tonight, Clean Getaway. Song number 4 on Slight Detour. Album that I dropped recently as of last week. But as time further goes on, it'll be within the month because I try to do these pods every day for your enjoyment. And for my enjoyment, as a way to present the songs in a different mind frame, a different frame. I'll give you a quick story. So Clean Getaway is basically, as the lyrics would say in not so poetic prose, I guess, that me being rebellious is because I'm a product of hip hop. So this will be a story about my introduction to hip hop music. I'm a kid of the 80s. I'm a product of Ronald Reagan. I'm a post product of J. Edgar Hoover that gave way to the likes of Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. And before Jimmy Carter, you had Lyndon B. Johnson, and going back to that, you have Richard Nixon. So it was like a downturn, right? Taking the nose of culture, taking the nose of counterculture, diving it into the ground. Then we have the Reagan era. Reagan era brought us trickle-down economics, there were, due to that was an idea. You say, oh, well, we let the people with the money have the say so in some degree. I may be wrong on this, but I'm just speaking. I'm just talking garbage. But you let them have the say so on how money is to be utilized. So we keep the money. We don't tax them as much. Then we let everybody else. We sprinkle the game on everybody. And we let everybody live off that. Didn't work out so well. So in the same time in the 80s, early 80, 81, places like Miami, enemy of the state of the time, one Fidel Castro, who had a stranglehold on the island of Cuba, opens up the jails, lets the criminal element come to America. He says, well, you know, Ronald Reagan was like, we don't want no one to be up under communism. We're going to set y'all free. We want you to come to America. This is a place of opportunity. This is where you live in. So in 1981, they come to the port of Miami, sitting in quarantine. And mind you, I'm using my history from Scarface. Okay? Not a buff. I'm a buff, but not a buff. So, 81, I'm born. Not in Miami, but Tampa. 3 hours from where all the debacle. But that epicenter, that ground zero spread quick. You know, it wasn't just hitting in Florida. It was hitting in New York and California. And it was hitting in Texas. It was hitting everywhere. Along with these CIA side ops exposed by one, I want to say Mr. Gary Webb, who did not feel suicidal at the time. I will bleep that word out. Who did not feel bad about himself at the time, and mysteriously died. But then that crack epidemic spread amongst America, more so around minority youths and minority adults, young and up to middle age, presumably. Ravaged the world. But out of that same destruction, that same self-destruction, was the emergence and glimmers of hip-hop, right? I mean, I'm a little kid. But needless to say, MTV launches, amongst other things. I think, MTV was one of the launches. Mostly rock and roll, new wave, various other pop artists. Your parents are your parents. You're going to listen to what your parents listen to. My parents listened to, whoever was popping. Of course, Michael Jackson. Everybody loved Michael Jackson. You know, everybody loved Prince. Everybody loved Rick James. But then there were three gentlemen coming out of Hollis, Queens, and they turned the world topsy-turvy because I was a little bit too young to catch the message. So my first foray into being aware of rap music, hip-hop music, was Run DMC. Due to my cousin. So I'm probably about 6, 7, 8, around that range. And my cousin had the room with the DJ decks and all the posters. I remember one of my favorite posters that he had in his room was a poster of Flavor Flav. And he's like decked out in a red Adidas or something like a Adidas or a tracksuit with the big old clock, the glasses, hat turned to the side, and he's posted up almost like an eagle's perched on a boombox doing, hip hop hands. When we looking at the posters, there's LL Cool J and all that, but that was the one that was stuck in my mind, the Flavor Flav poster. That's what I remember. So Be as it may, you know, I'm too young to buy tapes. I don't have money. So I listen to what I listen to. I hear things that I listen to, you know. I mean, you know, LL Cool J, all that stuff. King of Rock comes on with Aerosmith. And of course, because I like music, I'm a little kid, it's MTV. So I could have just as easily been a metalhead, which is crazy, right? I could have just as easily been a metalhead, and I could have dealt with a whole other different genre, because there was a point in time when I was maybe like 11, 10, 11, 12. I was going to take guitar lessons. You know, I didn't know my mother at the time was really trying to get me guitar lessons. I thought she was bullshitting, but you know, she really wasn't. She always said, "Oh, I was going to get you guitar lessons, but you wasn't interested." You know, I probably wasn't. But anyway, so when I really started, I really started rapping, I would say around the age of 13. I mean, as far as like just getting into the art form itself and really falling in love with it, that made me want to be a rapper, made me want to start writing, was Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style album. Listening to Nas's Illmatic, Dr. Dre's The Chronic. I wouldn't say I was quite into Wu-Tang yet, but I was into Onyx when the Back the Fuck Up album came. That was good. You know, a lot of times you don't listen to the bars and the lyrical content. You know, sometimes you just like to listen to the music because it had cussing and the beats was popping. You know, I just know that I really wasn't going to be with that Prince shit. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't going to be with Prince, because Prince was, I know he was fighting his record label, and we can all grow to appreciate the fact of him going against the labels in the music industry and reclaiming all the money and the rights to his art form. But at the time, you don't see that. I mean, as a kid, you see a little weird light-skinned man with his booty cheeks out. You're like, yo, I can't do nothing with that. I'm not trying to deal with that right there. But, you know, hip hop gave us insights of other places that we would never, you know, especially when you're young, you don't have money to get a plane ticket to go visit. And why would you go be a tourist there? But it gave us new insights on things, of what was happening on the other side of our world, you know. Black America is a vast, deep world. There's 101 ways to be a black man in America, and each way is valid. You know, that's what I believe. Then what the tenets of being a Pan-African is that there's no one way to be a black person, right? Hip hop gave us that. Hip hop gave us everything from De La Soul to Eazy-E, and they're all legends in between. And not to say that De La Soul was just like a different whatever, because they talked about the same things. They just delivered the message differently. It was just a different mode of transportation, you know. But everybody was saying pretty much the same thing. We black men in America. We black people, black women, black boys, black girls in America. And then the Hispanics, we brown people in America. And then even the unique aspect or unique perspective was every now and then you saw people that like to see what the white side of America was doing. Because white people love this shit too. They really do. And you see it in the numbers even today. I mean, I hear people say in the industry that, oh, well, they not really messing with hip hop. I said, well, I don't know about that. You know, it's tastemakers outside of the culture, the people who really truly appreciate this, that are saying these things. But the people who really love this are also fans of music as a whole. You can be a country music fan and a hip hop fan. But for myself personally, just for my song Clean Getaway, was that I was not going to acquiesce to nobody's standards except for my own, things that I thought were my own personal expression. You know, I'm not tucking my shirt in. I barely even comb my hair, G. Like, and that's what that song's about. It's an expression of like, a clean getaway means that I'm living my way. I'm living in my truth, meaning that like amongst, as far as like my artistic, cultural side of my life, that I believe that, you know, some people would say, yeah, doing hip hop and all that is a hobby. It don't make no money. You know, what defines that? And I am not one to tell somebody and say, well, oh, it's a hobby. At a certain age in your life, man, you're going to be like, yeah, this is a discipline. You know, hobbies are cool, but hobbies should also make you money. And if you want to be good at your hobby, you want to be good at a discipline. You become a disciplined person, be it something hard or something artistic, something arduous. You know, I mean, you could say you climb mountains. You're climbing Mount Everest as a hobby. That's not a hobby. You got to be disciplined to survive in Mount Everest. You know, traveling in third world countries and doing whatever. You gotta be disciplined to survive out in certain places if you're gonna be living out there long term. You can't just do whatever. You got to follow the laws of the land, and that comes with discipline. So my discipline was my artistic expression of myself because it's an extension of me. It is not so much an existential part of me, but it's a part of me, meaning that I feel that it is very important to how I view the world. It is the lens on which I hold up to my eye. I see the world through a hip hop lens. You know, I see the world and I will enter and react and interact in this world through a hip hop lens. And that's what this song's about. You know, just in my own element, man, just maintaining what I do for me. And if I influence other people, even with this, good. And if I don't, that's okay too. But I just want to make sure to let everybody know that we good over here. And life is beautiful, especially viewing it through my own personal expression within the culture of being a hip hop head. You know, and just that. The beat describing the song itself, the beat is produced by me. I'm using an SP202. The sample is something royalty free, which I liked. So it was a long, drawn out type sample piece of work made by a pianist that had some layering or voicing upon the actual root notes. And I just kind of chopped and jumped it around a little bit because, you know, I thought it was cool because, like I said before in the earlier episodes, or when you see episode 1 and get to the other episodes subsequently, that this album was made to have a jazz feel. But as we're talking, I've now talked for 16 minutes, over 16 minutes. I might go a little longer. But, yeah, man, the royalty-free loops are cool. Not all of them are great pieces of music. Sometimes I will take things and layer them up, but I was looking specifically for a jazz feel. As I said before in other albums. As I said before in other episodes in this particular space that I'm in, that I was trying to give that thing. And people that genuinely partake in my music and the people who show love for my music often tell me that out of all the types of work that I do, as far as production wise, and me putting vocals on those productions or getting other productions outsourced to me or, for me, it's always they appreciate the jazzy stuff, the more jazzy, artistically ethereal stuff more than they do more of the more banger type beats, which is fine. I like the jazzy stuff too. So, like, share, subscribe. All right. I forget to say that in the other 3 episodes, but please like, share, and subscribe this. And tell everybody if they say, you know what I'm saying, they're like, yeah, man, little homie is I'm not a little homie. OG nice on the mic. Yo, listen to his podcast. I'm going, I already liked it. I'm just going to share it. You subscribe too. I've already subscribed. So what are you doing? Subscribe right now. But yeah, quick shout out, Saba Sun family. Shout out to the man, the God Apreen. Shout out to Born Fifth. Shout out to Tony the Goon. Shout out to my brother from another Grizzly Savage. Shout out to Corey Chavis of Dark City Fight Club. Shout out to Showtime, aka the Soldier, high flying soldier. Can't say that other word. I'm not trying to get demonetized. Shout out to him. Shout out to Atreyu 850 FM in the house. Shout out to the new 93. Shout out to the brother Abno. Shout out to, everybody in here on these mics, on these beats, doing their damn thing. You know what I'm saying? If you out here and it don't matter if you making money, man. If you doing this for the love, you doing it for the sport, that's dope too. You know what I'm saying? And keep doing the dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we here for. So without further ado, here is a Clean Getaway. And please enjoy. Peace. Sounds of the future, designed to last, standards to jazz, the class I was told to take, never tuck my shirt, I'm a goon, never was a fake, hip-hop generation, look up the Xers, like the Zoomer see me, so I don't be extra, move like a whirlwind, transcend with the ink and pen, map it out on a pad by way of the lab, I don't listen to no one, I lock the R, fuck what you want, this is from the heart, this is from the mind, no time looking for a sign, happiness is me the best part when it comes for free, delivering the potent shit for your system, hit 'em how I get it, sunwise with the 7-headed, you can't hold the gods, we gotta dead it, so we ain't gon' let it get us, we eatin' first, rulers of the universe, rulers of the universe, all that jazz still came clean, get away, made away, had my say, made it known in my zone, in my zone. All that jazz still came clean, get away, made away, still had my say, made it known, all in my zone. I'm all in my zone. So if you will get the gist, experimentalists never follow trends and shit unless it's business model and it gets up movement. Step aside, make room as I begin. Been carving out this diamond mine just to drop a few jewels. You know, I take coal, apply pressure. Calculated with my eyeballs is how I measure. So it's right and exact is how one reacts. Maybe 30 years just to give you a few tracks. 10,000 shots in the gym, it's all net worth. All good work leads to team ownership. I've been on this shit for the love of the game at the expense of monumental moments in life. Heart of the creator, everything I'm painting. Kings who sought after this appreciate the work. Seen and heard everywhere, it's just one of the perks. All that jazz still came clean. Got away, made away. Had my say, made it known. In my zone. Yeah. All that jazz still came clean. Got away, made away, had a say, made it on my own. I'm in my zone. Still in my zone. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say welcome to Oktane Minutes podcast, where we cover behind the scenes of music that I make. at least for now, we are doing a collection. The series right now is of my latest album, which I don't have a physical copy of because I'm both recording on IG and I am recording on here on the TikTok. But so for the people that are on TikTok, I just want to let you know, and the people on IG, I got still physical CDs for sale for Righteous Killers. I got a couple copies of that. I got a couple copies of Art Dealer 3. And I've got a couple of copies of Apex Dominant physical. And I'm looking for another physical manufacturer who makes CDs or any type of merch like that. So if anybody in these spaces got any, idea where to get that, let me know. And we can further get that cracking. So, and also, if you want to just get the downloads, I'm streaming everywhere for everything that I've made that has, vocals on it. I took my instrumentals off, my instrumental albums off, but all my vocal stuff and my group stuff, my collab stuff, that's all available on Bandcamp, Oktane, and Diabolical Hideaway. Bandcamp or /bandcamp.com. So you could go on Bandcamp, just type in Oktane, Oktane, and it'll be there. So on this edition of the Minutes, we are, as we continue on, we are on track 5. So we're at a little bit past the halfway point because there is 9 tracks to this album. Random Lost Case Studies 2, produced by Kilgrave once again. As you know, in the previous episodes, he had them in my email, and they sat there for like 3 or 4 years. I didn't even know them joints were there, and luckily I found them after just a session of trying to clean out my email, just trying to get the junk mail stuff up out of there. And luckily I found them, and I hit them up. I was like, yo, I'm about to do something with these. So I was going to put them on another album, but then I said, I had I had the data corruption issue, and I'm still sifting through those nameless, faceless files to see what is what. Pain in the neck, head and chest. Life goes on. So I decided to make this album, and this is a new way to present that. So, Random Lost Case Studies 2. Kilgrave produced it. The song, as far as the beat goes, is piano-laced. It has a dark, dreary, melancholy feel, slow, and then it builds up into an overture with violins and drums. So that's the best way to describe the beat. And I should have the beat playing a little bit in the background. But the aim and the subject matter to the Lost Case Studies 2, it opens up with a high-speed chase, because the beat also sounds like something that would depict the high-speed chase in slow-mo and all the little bits and actions that happen and the result of something catastrophic from a high-speed chase that builds up to other things. So it starts with the hard speed chase, someone under the influence, and then he says he gets his ass beat. Now he acts surprised when he gets stopped by the police, which causes an explosion of emotion, as if it was the Rodney King beating, where the officers in question were not found guilty, even though they were caught on camera exhibiting a level of police brutality. But it was almost like a thing to where it was like, see, we've been told you, my community been told the rest of the world, yo, it's really like that out here. People really treat us like that sometimes. And when, I guess, society said, it's okay, they were like, what? And it was kind of like the boiling point, because this wasn't just an isolated incident. Nothing really is when you have a situation of riots and commotion that goes on like that. It ain't just an isolated incident to where you see just one issue. These are systemic issues that I write about in this song, in this case file study. People are going to go back and forth, and people are going to go to war, because it's like I can only withstand so much pressure before the pipes bust. But at the beginning of it, remember, we all have choices. I always talk about choices in this series, that you cannot run your life and govern yourself off the intrusive thoughts. Because when intrusive thoughts win, intrusive thoughts really win. And a lot of times those things are domino effects, because with one intrusive thought creates chaos for others who feel that they should be in a peaceful position. If I have some lines I want to quote from the album, I will specifically point out some things, but we can get to that. But yeah, just going into that, yeah, I mean, you sometimes just one bad choice creates bad choices for others, because remember, things build up and then things turn into the mob mentality, and that's where we really see things get interesting in the world. Yeah, so like the opening lines to the song, I guess I'll go 9 bars of the first verse, and I'll just break things down. So it starts with the high-speed chase. So it says, high-speed chase, maybe on something lace. Crash still alive, on the scene they arrive. Right? They check to see if he's dead, but he's not. Worst ass whooping, and he acts surprised. Seen in the eyes, captured, televised. That's the 90s. Causing LA riot, or something alluding to that. But that is the world that we got, So, worst ass whooping, and he acts surprised, right? Seen in the eyes, captured, televised. Part of the tipping point, they ain't even try. Come with the disrespect, you will surely die. We are not the ancestors, game done changed. They been stopped playing, competitive bitch made. They don't even know how to play chess. Like I said, serious high stake. Possibly the primer. Voting for snakes. Not as choppy, but so, the primer is always, you put your trust in somebody and they let you down. That's why we have the world that we have. And, you have a lot of cats in the conscious community that say, sit home, man, when it's voting time. We got to let these people know the power of our voting capacity. Our dollars make these people who they are. And if we give our vote away or give our dollar away, and they surely give us nothing, they insure us nothing, then we need to let them know that there needs to be something had for what our support warrants. Our support warrants you taking care of us. We voted for certain things that you said you represented. You can't say you represented something, because that's usually the start, right? And then, I have the other line that says, they even sell us sneakers. Others all inclusive. So now you want to act all inclusive the first time you lost. That speaks to somebody, right? Speaks to the Donald Trump organization. At one point he wasn't really about us. Not like the liberal side was about us, but he definitely pops up at SneakerCon, and you have Fox News saying, well, the African American community really likes sneakers. That's not what we about, man. Like, we people just like everybody else's people. Sneaker culture is part of hip hop culture, part of the youth cultures, part of American culture, because we are a consumer culture, right? It's not because it gives us any mystical powers, sneakers or whatever. You know, it's just another oil salesman just trying to be all inclusive. And that's what the song is giving, right? It's giving us an all inclusive illusion. But that illusion is just the fire to the pot that starts the bubbles of the thing that's really simmering. And by the time you realize that those bubbles it's a rolling boil, and there's steam coming off the water, and no one's still paying attention. You know that there's steam, right? Then you include elements of oil or whatever. Then your kitchen's on fire before you know it, because you didn't know how to cook for real anyway. You know? So, I mean, where does it go? Where does it end? And this song's a one-verse song. But there's a lot to take in, because it's a bunch of random occurrences that ping off of each other, feed off of each other, then becomes chaos. No one is unique to nothing, no situation, right? No one is immune to a situation. We can all fall victim to a mob mentality just off of the spark of one tryst with chaos, per se. And that's the dangerous thing about humanity, right? Like, I was just watching a thing with Joe Rogan, and he says humans had the capacities to be molded into any type of weird culture. You know, you think the Spartans were hardcore, or the Zulus were hardcore, and they were warlike. Here's the newsflash: we are all capable of being chaotic and warlike, if need be. You know, if a couple years from now the electrical grid gets knocked out, those ancient ways are going to come back. Remember, memories are never lost. They stay in your DNA. A lot of us come from warrior DNA. All of us come from DNA. We all come from Neanderthal DNA, and we had to kill for our food at one point. So that's food for thought. Don't kill for it. I just gave that to you. Those are the jewels of the truth. So, as I want to say, before I end this podcast and give you the song, let's just shout out to my Saba Son family. As always, I'm going to say like, share, and subscribe to this, because without the contributions of you, how do I go appreciate it? I need you to appreciate me, because I appreciate you back. So shout out to the Saba Son. Shout out to all those in the future who will listen to this as of my recording. Shout out to Kilgrave for lacing a brother with this beat. He's out of England. And for those on the video world, or those on this podcast space, go to my Bandcamp, man. That's how you really support me, man. Go to the streaming sites and run my music once or twice, you know. Go to Bandcamp. That's how I really make some paper. And I'm gonna try my best to get other merch, hats and shirts and what have you. But support the music, definitely. You know, if you like it, download it. You know. I got CDs for sale, and as I said in the beginning of the podcast, roughly almost 15 minutes ago, prior, that I am looking for a new CD manufacturer so I can deliver hard copies to whoever wants them in limited numbers. But without further ado, here is Lost Case File Studies 2. Enjoy. Thank you for listening. High speed chase, maybe on something lace. Crash still alive on the scene when they arrive. Worse ass whipping and he acts surprised. Seen in the eyes, captured and televised. Part of the tipping point, ain't even going try. Come and disrespect, yes, you will surely die. Not the ancestors, the game done changed, but they been stopped playing competitive bitch made. Don't know how to play chess, like I said. Serious high stakes, possibly the primer of voting for stakes. They even selling sneakers. Others all inclusive, you stuck on stupid. Celebrity led movements, what's the science? And how do you do it? How do you see it? Go and find the meaning, being called the being. Endless things we manifest, go see what's set. No one cares in this, no regrets. Kilgrave made it. People of the hip hop world, it is I, Oktane, CEO, Chief Operator of Saba Sun Collective, Saba Sun Sound Trust, member of the Seven-Headed Dragon, member of the Diabolical Hideaway, member of Black and Tan, member of 850 FM, and various other hip-hop groups or future groups. And this is Oktane Minutes Podcast. And this edition we are talking about song 6, Just Speaking to Y'all, produced by me, utilizing sounds from one Sun Ra, who is one of the top and most innovative musicians of our time, or of his time, ahead of his time, and even innovative for today's standards. Born in Alabama, traveled to Chicago and New York, and made a name for himself, and struggled for many years because he was an independent artist. Because he was an artist during a time of segregation, dealing with chronic illnesses. He still managed to create a vibrant, lush background. See, I don't make no secrets about my sampling. I might get caught close to this if the song blow up, you know. Whatever, my bad, Sun Ra. Much respect. That's why I used your music, because you gave me a good landscape to go off of, which I appreciate. And so I had to use it, you know. I couldn't tell you what the Pacific song was, but I'm pretty sure there'll be somebody who is a Sun Ra fanatic, or if you are a sample fanatic and you know, you dig what I got going on. While I am recording this, I am also doing this on live, so I'm telling everybody, oh, please join in, and I say, please don't jump in and watch they do the exact opposite and try to join into the conversation, but it's all good. It's all good. Side note, you know, I just try to archive my stuff, but this is a future episode, so they probably won't see it till later on. So just speaking to y'all, the beat itself, as you would probably hear in the background, I mean, future episodes, because I'm going to cover everything. I'm going to try to cover all my music, everything I've ever written and recorded, and I might even do some special stuff where I have some stuff that's unreleased and cover that, but that's for the future. That's for another story sometime down in the distant. I'm going to try to record these every day, if I can. and then just have them in the can, ready on deck on YouTube for you, so you never have to wonder where the next joint is dropping. I might change the days, I might change the times, depending on whatever, just because I'm trying to keep consistent with a certain type of thing. I try to be uniform at certain points, because people are creatures of habit, and that's a good thing. So the song is basically talking about my frustration. My frustration got me wanting a staycation. I just need a break from everything, just dealing with everything. But at this time, there's a spring break coming up, and I do go to school. Not that I really need a vacation or a spring break or whatever, but I appreciate them. I'll take it, just time to study and do my thing and whatever, which is cool. So the song is just about taking that time to elevate oneself. That time that you have, you're never not working on yourself. Even if you're working on something. If you take time off, you're working on yourself, you're working on that elevation. And that is a thing that is highly appreciated for yourself. It's good for you. It's good for you to look within and to see what is going on in there, in your heart and mind, because other people appreciate it, and you definitely could benefit from it. So why not take that time? So that's why I'm just speaking to y'all. So the song is about me doing this. I'm just speaking to y'all, just telling you about things, talking to you about my music, which is something important to me and hopefully enjoyable for you. So, it's my way of giving back, and my way of attracting new fans. Not that I'm trying to sell you anything, because you can stream this for free. I'm really taking the hit on that. Yeah, the advertisers are paying for the music. You guys just enjoy the ride. So I don't really even see the plight about streaming, complaining about your music not making the money that you think it should make. I mean, it's really more or less a situation of just trying to find that middle ground, man. You just got to look at it from the perspective that you want to look at it. It's the perspective of taking care of oneself. And it's from the perspective of taking oneself in what matter, meaning financially. If it's financially, then you want more money from streaming. And if it's another way of being financial, that it's a way to advertise for the other stuff. The more songs you have, the less you have to depend on how many streams a month per song. 300 songs that you got on there, it's way less to stream per song to make whatever quota, because you got to make something for everybody. Even though your stuff is specific people, you're making stuff for everyone, and everyone should enjoy it. Just because the one song doesn't get their attention, it may not be the 296th song that gets their attention. It might be 298 that gets their attention, and make them say, oh, let me go back and listen to everything else. That's what that's about. And that's where the real, I guess, artistic value comes in, is that you're cranking away and you don't let nothing discourage you or push you aside. You just keep cranking away and you keep making things artistic. And then you get better too. It doesn't matter if you're not good, because you're going to get better. But it's the 10,000 shots in the gym. It's the 10,000 shots in the gym that make a Michael Jordan, that make a LeBron James. It's the difference between being already good and making yourself great. There are a lot of guys who are good, but the guys who put that extra time in and put that extra grind in, that's where greatness creates itself. And that's nothing but a good thing, a great thing. Never perfect, because greatness means that you're trying to perfect everything. You could be perfect on all the big things, but it's the little minutia that you got to protect, got to perfect, you got to build upon. Everything is a staircase. You can't get to the top if you don't have the first floor. This sounds motivational. This might even be off base of what the song is actually about. But that's okay, at least for what I got going on here for y'all. I'm just speaking to y'all. What else can we get into? Maybe I'll go over a couple of lines on the song. Yeah, so I opened it up. I said, my frustrations got me looking for a staycation, quick visitation, my peace like meditation. Truth be crazy, she could be toothy, sorta kinda lazy, probably talk a lot. Toothy, you know what I'm saying? As you know, everybody knows that I have a love for certain things. You know, it could be, toothy. I love my Maduros. I love my Maduros. My 10th anniversary pre-domo. Some of the best out, Always keep a list, the Dunbarton Sin Compromiso. And it's also a double entendre, because it could be I'm visiting a lady. She's toothy, but toothy is also a Maduro or a natural with a lot of flavor upon sparking. Sort of kind of lazy, probably a lot of talk, She ain't throwing it right, but she like to talk a lot of ish, Timing when she gonna stop opportunity, move the needle on my next scheme, It's like every time I make moves, I cause earthquakes. And that means that I'm making moves to mean something. That's what I mean, moving the Richter scale. Held down many things, so many themes, stretched thin, so I'm only on the seam like a shark's fin. So that means that I'm in these deep waters. I'm just moving for the next thing to eat, you know what I mean? Eating, making money. That's what we mean when we say we out here trying to eat, we trying to make some money. So every move that you make, especially when you're an adult, when you're a kid, you can have hobbies that, whatever, man. But, as you grow on into your discipline, those become things that should warrant you a net sum of money. So I'm going to go touch on some other things in verse 2. What I say, arthritis in my knees, back, and hands, the hard work. Going through it sometimes, stress, the perks. Labor of love. Saw small benefits. Those incentives alone make me still got it. Make me see I still got it. Something like that. You know what I mean? Mean that, all the things I go through lets me know that in some small, minute notion, somebody appreciates what you're doing. Always remember that. And then I said, possibly sick when I wrote this due to a virus, stomach bugs, move silent, hella crazy, just over 40. To come back to my first love after being gone shortly. So I said, yeah, I got sick. The works stomach bug that was floating around down here in the southeast. It went hard and crazy. And I was still cranking away, man. I managed to make 9 tracks. 9 tracks in like a weekend. So maybe I started on maybe on a Thursday. So kind of like the end of the weekday towards the weekend. So by Monday, Not even Monday morning, probably. Maybe Monday, I don't know. Whatever the day is released was the day that I finished it, basically. Because I was mixing and mastering right after I recorded the songs, and I was just knocking, I knocked out 2 or 3 joints at once in a day. And just kept the momentum going. See what else I got up on here that I think. What I say, morsels of this rap shit is so inspiring, so I paid my return to go higher then. Rich, lush soundscapes. In the night, I lay it down, so this every time at night, most of the time I do most of my recording at night, and that's how I'm relaxing most of the time, that I'm laying down tracks, and I'm just making it do what it do. What I say, and then also when I say being gone shortly, I didn't rap and make music for like at least 9 to 10 years, 9.5 years, because I was busy doing other things, and I didn't care to get a new computer. But now I got a new computer and I'm back rapping. I said I disappear and reappear, highly elevated. Come peep all of this art I'm making. So I'm just saying, like, listen, man, even though I'm elevating, you can be with it or be not with it. So, choice is yours, man. And it's solely your choice at this point. So, as I'm wrapping this up, because I've gone long enough, send a shout out to my Saba Son family. Of course, I want you to like, share, and subscribe, because this will be on YouTube for now. And it'll probably be on Spotify. I'm going to put it on Spotify podcast. I'm going to figure out what I got to do with that and make that shit happen. And when I do make it happen, you can enjoy it there too. And I probably fix some of these issues with the sound. Because it feels like a lot of the sound was too blaring. I don't know. I might not. But I just want to let y'all know, y'all are, if y'all listen to this, I appreciate you. And I appreciate y'all going along with me on this journey. And thanks for letting me just speak with y'all. So like, share, and subscribe. Streaming everywhere. All major streaming platforms. And my physicals are available on Bandcamp, and I got stuff. I got physical CDs and I got all my downloads. So if you want to support me, best way to support me is through there. Or if PayPal figures out how to lets us put up stuff to download through their system, you can support me on PayPal. Matter of fact, you could. I'll probably put my PayPal link on there. And you can donate $1 and I'll send y'all some exclusive stuff. I don't know. I'll figure out what that is until I can start doing shows again, and or I get to doing shows again, and y'all can get in there as super exclusive club members if you're in my state where I'm doing shows. So no further ado, here is Just Speaking to Y'all. Enjoy. Oktane Minutes Podcast. Yeah. My frustrations got me looking for a staycation, quick visitation, my peace like meditation. The truth be crazy, shit could be toothy, sorta kinda lazy, probably talk a lot, timely, probably gon' stop opportunity, moving the needle in my next scheme, on to moving my dreams. They're all knowing this music shit held down with many things, so many themes stretched thin, so I'm only seen with the shark's fin, navigating in deep waters, rooting for the win, sitting down with the Persian food alone, maybe headed home, go head on, stay contemplating in the lab, making high science, anti-pop defiance, loud as shit, what we love it whenever we not bugging, peep it now. This a day-to-day glimpse, a motion in time. There'll be other days, and I'll be just fine. Just speaking to y'all. Yo, yo, I'm just speaking to y'all. Yeah. This a day-to-day glimpse, emotion and time. There'll be other days, and I'll be just fine. I'm just speaking to y'all. Just speaking to y'all. Arthritis in my knees, back and hands to hard work. Going through it sometimes, stress, perks, labor of love. Saw some small benefits, those incentives alone make me feel like I still got it. Possibly sick when I wrote this due to a virus. Stomach bugs move silent, hella crazy. Just over 40, come back to my first love after being gone shortly, then thinking nothing of it. Maybe a few portions, the morsels of this rap shit so inspiring. So I paved my return to go higher than rich lust soundscapes. In the night I lay it down, loving my craft sincerely. Hold many things dear to me, near perfect, correct. I just rap to connect. Get down on the track to make it through time and space. And I disappear and reappear, highly elevated. Compete this art I'm making. This a day-to-day glimpse, emotion and time. There'll be other days I'll be just fine. Just speaking to y'all. I'm just speaking to y'all. This a day-to-day glimpse, emotion and time. There'll be other days, and I'll be just fine. Just speaking to y'all. I'm just speaking to y'all. This is an American life. At least the subject matter of this song. I'd like to welcome you to the Oktane Minutes podcast, where we go back and re-review, for right now of this season, we review the bits and pieces of Slight Detour, my latest magnum opus tour de force, as a result of a data corruption that I've still got to sift through because it's just a caved in mind. I know my gold is still in there, but now I got to get my shovel and my pickaxe and re-break some new things. That vein is still there, but I got to move the debris aside. But tonight, in this episode, which is officially from season 1, Slight Detour, this is episode, is it 7 or 8? This will be officially episode 7. Episode 8 and 9 is going to be some doozies, so, I think you will like it. I'm also thinking what I'll do is I'll probably take these and make one giant anthology episode. And then after I'm done with this, I'm probably going to cover Apex Dominant. I'm gonna go through that, and I will probably do that in a little slightly different format. I'll do Apex Dominant, and then I'll do like a super long series where it's with the stuff I've done with Mon Placebo, which is For Righteous, Killers, and Martyrs Become Saints. That will be for the future. But for now, on the Minutes podcast, we're going to carry on and cover Landmasses. Produced by the man from Middletown, DJ Camo. Producer extraordinaire. I think he utilizes an SP404. Everything is very underground and dark. Everything always comes in with it always has little vocal samples from I presume B movies, or almost like it comes from clips from somewhere from the 80s on the way all the way back to the Cecil B. DeMille or in between Ed Wood movie clips, which I think always work for what we do. Originally, it was a song called Choppers Out the Skyline GT, the beat I was using. But unfortunately, the guy that I was supposed to rap with no longer was going to fit that decor. So that is for ourselves. It was supposed to be for the Brainbusters project, but canceled. Which happens, sometimes business ends and new business begins. And I'm always looking forward to new business. I don't care about the old business that fall apart, It's a waste of time. Waste of time and money. But to describe the beat that we have going on for that came from DJ Camo. The beat has sparse pianos. It almost feels like the way the piano comes in on the beat. Well, the beat is also like a quick, like jazz. Almost like a marching band, but not a whole band, but just the one guy playing. And the way the sparse keys come over that, the keys almost hover above like a UFO. I always like to think of Camo's production. It always feels like you're being visited by a UFO, like you in the middle of Iowa, and you just about to wrap up the farm work, and you about to get the cattle. The cattle did the feeding and do cattle, the cows did cow and bull things and steer things, and you want to get the cattle back into the big industrialized barn for the night because it gets a little cold. It gets a little cold during the first part of the spring season, and you're about to move the tractor back down, and you see a little glimmer of light up in the space. You know what I'm saying? And you see a little spooky thing floating over the top of you. And you're like, damn, man, what can that be? By George, it's a UFO. Oddly strange. It's a thing, and then you see little humanoids come out that thing, and it looked like, and they want to they shapeshift, right? It feels like the aliens want to shapeshift, and they want to look at you, and they want to study you. They come hovering down out of the sky, out of the firmament, onto the flat earth. You don't know the earth is flat. You don't. But it is. That's why the song's called Land Masses, right? You have a flat planet with an alien hovering above you. Where'd that alien come from? He looks like you. Could be a beautiful alien. Could they be from Asgard? Or do they even come from outer space? They come from beyond the ice wall. That's what that production feels like. It feels like an uncanny valley. And the song is about just me saying that I'm here to move culture forward. I'm here to move land masses. And, you know what I'm saying? I'll read you some quotes. I'll read you some stuff from the first verse, and then we can just break down each little piece. I said, in the days I took creative risks, I used to twist metaphors and shit, aliens up in the mix. Now in this realm of politics, they escape the communists. And that could be different things. That could mean that I was different. I'm so different creatively that people see me. I'm the spaceman coming out of the spaceship, which is Camo's production, DJ Camo's production. Or it could be that I'm from a foreign land amongst strangers, to let strangers know that I either come in peace or I come with an ulterior motive. Analyze and quickly learn, then it was hard to earn, but the culture class like experiments from CERN. Culture clash or culture clash, but the cultures clash like experiments from CERN. CERN is the experiment where they try to open dimensional portals or something, and they ran them through a 100-mile radius, boom, smashing them to each other to understand the universe. And sometimes when we clash, a culture clash ain't nothing but humans trying to interact and trying to understand each other, right? Positive and negative, find out, just don't mind me. trying to carve out a life grinding. American nightmare, it seems, but I got dreams like anybody else. So even though I'm strange and my culture is different and we clash, I'm just like you, G. I'm trying to get money like you. What we doing? What we doing? Let's get this money together, right? They saying these guys don't need help. Bootstraps pull them. I march the conquest. Robbery I invest. The base from my chest. It's like, listen, you either gonna see me achieve my dream, but don't get in front of my dream and then tell me I'm being lazy, because if I'm being lazy in front of my American dream, for my American dream, or if you're telling me I'm lazy while you're blocking my dream, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put bass in my chest and I'm gonna take your dream to make it my dream. You know, it's a line about, yeah, if I have nowhere else to go, where else am I gonna go? I'm gonna go robbing and stealing if I have to, right? You may think you see the enemy, but you haven't. I'll be back. The starving in my desire is fire in my eyes. Yes, I'm serious. The reflection is given less. Makes many monsters go for self-care preservation. So this criminal-like dedication. So it's just like, I'm hungry. The hungrier I get, the more dangerous I will be. You know, and I'm just a reflection of the self-destruction that was shown and revealed to me. You know, and we're going to go on. And then I said, you going to listen to me, or do I have to show you? Pretend I don't know you, backdoor you, off the big licks, and society is sick as to why some of us get into this type of shit. America loves criminality. It says, listen, I could tell you to let me live my dream, or else I'm going to show you that I'm going to live my dream by any means, right? I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do the dirtbag thing and achieve my life, right? I'm going to achieve my lifestyle. Hold on. Okay. So I had to turn off my video, but all right, we're going to proceed. And then I say, it ain't normal. Family feuds too. See what we been through. Cats undeserving, serving many masters, only to deal with captures. Stuck with that, lust for greed, the needful things. Money is king. Any other kind is extra for my dreams, and I'm busting out the seams. So the thing is, if I'm going to be forced to be in a bubble or in a box, or forced to be captive to the ills and vices of the world, I'm going to be the tyrant that you thought I was, and I'm going to take everything. So I'm going to go across the whole landmass. You know, I'm busting out the scene. Show up on the scene, and it's only a feeling. Revealing what these influencers do. Take your time, take your mind. While you riding the pine, politician will even rob you blind. So we mob just for that. Ain't no coming back, active forever until we dead to the max. So that means that I'm not gonna ride the pine if I'm gonna be what you think I'm gonna be to achieve my dream. I gotta be the best ever. I'm gonna be the best ever, even though there's a lot worse than me that you let slide every day. You let these politicians rob the land masses. You let them rape and rob your communities. And you're saying me, an immigrant, me, a black man, me, a man trying to make his way in America is a problem because we choose to live our own way. Not because we're not trying to live criminal, but people make us criminals. And that's the sad part, man. We are made into these things. We are made into these horrible things. And then we are made to be punished by such things. land masses. I want to send a shout out to my Saba Son family. The God A Preem, the original Mr. Blue, Tony the Goon, Corey, Chavis, Dark City Fight Club, Showtime Dollars, the new 93, the Big Brother Abno. I want to send a shout out to Born Fifth, to MC Gravity, Atreyu 850, Guillotine, Fresno, California, the Guillotine Regime, Placebo, who every time we get together and we do a collab, it's 96 RZA and Ghost. Every time we collab, we put my voice with his rhymes. 96 RZA and Ghost. Shout out to DJ Camo, who contributed a bunch of beats to me, man. And we getting to him slowly but surely, and we gonna make it happen. Shout out to Killgrave, who participated on this album and made it funky, man. I just want to let you know I'm proud of the work that I've done. I'm really proud of it. And I'm proud of the guys that are so creative. Their ears and their eyes and their soul that they put into each of these beats make it possible.
Really strange. I mean, something.
And I love them for it. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody out.
Weird.
But if I did,
What's that?
I do apologize. It is very late in the night. I recorded this at the time because these are pre-recorded. So they are recorded back to back to back to back, right? And right now it's 3:05 in the morning. So I'll go through the list again. Of course, Grizzly Savage. So we're going to do it again because I goofed it up. Shout out to Showtime Dollars, Son's Bird, a.k.a. Born Fifth, Tony the Goon, a.k.a. the original Mr. Blue, A Preem, a.k.a. the War God, Atreyu 850, the Grizzly Savage, Corey Chavis, MC Gravity, the new 93, Guillotine. Shout out to Mon Placebo. Shout out to Abno. Shout out to what's my name? Oh man, he slipped my mind. What's my man's name? Who did? You know what? I'm going to get my brother the next time. But yeah, shout out to my crew. Shout out to all you MCs out there, man. All y'all doing it and putting in work. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short because it's already almost 17 minutes. 17 minutes officially. Without further ado, here's Land Masses. Enjoy.
Really strange. I mean, something must be going on up there. Boy, it's kind of spooky, weird. Woo! What's that? Look at that, something's falling right out of the sky. I mean, it's coming down real fast. It's coming straight toward me. Whoa! You may think you see the enemy, but you haven't. I'll be back.
In the days I took creative risks, I used to twist metaphors to shit. Aliens up in the mix. Now in this realm of politics, they escape the communist derogatory terms as concerns. Build the model citizen, analyze and quickly learn. When it was hard to earn, but culture class like experiments from CERN. Positive and negative, finding just don't mind me. Trying to carve a life, grinding. America's nightmare as it seems, but it got dreams like anybody else. They saying that these guys don't need help. Bootstraps pull them. I march on to conquest. Robbery, I invest the base from a chest. Starving in my desire, the fire in my eyes. Yes, I'm serious, the reflection is given less. It makes many masters and go for self-care, preservation. So this criminal minded to the dedication. You gonna listen to me? Or do I have to show ya? Pretend I don't know ya. Backdoor ya off the big licks. Because society is sick as to why some of us get into this type of shit. It ain't normal, family feuds too. See what we been through. Cats undeserving, serving many masters, only to deal with the capture. Stuck with the lust for greed and evil things, and money is king. Many other kinds. It's extreme for my dreams, and I'm busting out the seams. Show up on the scene, and it's only your feeling, revealing what these influences do. Take your time to take your mind, while you ride in the pine. Politicians rob you blind, so we mob just for that, and ain't no coming back. Active forever, until peace to the max.
Some, the war didn't end. The battlefields may have changed, but the killing continues.
Family, my people, my good friends, my best friends, my brothers and sisters. We are doing a live from my podcast. And of course, you know what it's called. The Oktane Minutes podcast. Well, I just review my music. Hopefully you care about it and want to know more. So I will give you the insight behind the scenes of any and everything. So on this edition, in the now, we are covering, I want to say, Lost Case Studies 3. I'm tearing up my notebook because I do want to quote. Okay, yes, Lost Case Studies 3 off the album Slight Detour, which is the anthology right now that we're covering. This is season 1. Short form podcast behind the scenes. So, of course, the minutes, we will present another Kilgrave masterpiece, and I'll say it for the third time. It sat, the beat sat in my shamefully sat in my Google Drive for like 3 to 4 years. I didn't even know. This was during COVID. I forgot to even ask the brother for some beats. He laced me because I really do like his stuff. Everything has a vapor quality and ethereal quality to it. It feels like you driving a Trans Am, and the world that you live in has VHS tracking in the sky, and you get ready to go to the warehouse to kick an opium dealer in his ass. That's what his beats feel like. So, Lost Case Studies, or Random Lost Case Studies 3. Same thing about random occurrences, about the ills of society and the ills of humanity, and what goes on and how their life falls apart, right? Things fall apart. Everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. Self-destruction, self-corruption. That's the whole ball game. So in the passages, it's a story about the passages. It's a story about a pimp and a whore, pimp and a prostitute, and just them going through their daily life. So I said, this life be a pressure cook-up. When you look up, you fried, denied all entries to the finer things in life. Tears, stress, and strife to the likes of the third world. Even though we live in a modern world with all these beautiful conveniences, America's one of the only places that has first world problems and third world problems at the same time. You could be a millionaire but still can't buy insurance. You know? Crazy, right? There's a tear, stress, and strife to the likes of the third world. Future examinations at the free clinical. The pinnacle of your day is after hours diner. So, you know, prostitute doing what prostitutes do. Dealing with the worst of the worst in men and getting beat up by your pimp when you're not doing right or whatever. And a lot of times, you know, it's them. Sometimes your pimp, it's not your pimp, it's probably their boyfriend, and they both drug addicted. Or it could be a guy who really got game about this pimping, and he go about it accordingly. But in real reality, a lot of this is just human trafficking. I mean, we just keep it funky 100. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of cats out here who celebrate this type of lifestyle and whatever, but you have these things. These are elements that make claim to that world. Even though that might not be what the world is really truly about, a lot of worse elements, because we're not saying that pimps and prostitutes are angels. They're not. They're not. Some of them are good people, but there's a lot of bad ones. Right? But, you know, we're not castigating any type of judgment. I'm just explaining the situation for those who do not know or not part of that world. Busted old gators, musty vagina, small bag of china, sell on the side, sell O's on the side. A lot of guys who are in one type of level of criminality also do another form of criminality, which is indicative. A lot of times you can commit victimless crimes, but at the same time, victimless crimes are things that have victims because you're doing other shit. You're doing other things. You're selling drugs, or you're doing robberies, or using the woman to commit robberies. You're setting up people because, you know, you're, at the end of the day, you are a confidence man. You're a man of leisure, but you're also a confidence man. Instill confidence to take the money away from an individual. It's just how it is. Not to say that it's a bad thing. It's bad. I'm not going to say bad thing or good thing, but, you know, we should always strive to be good people, and always strive to be righteous. I will always choose righteousness over anything else. But, you know, sometimes we let our dark sides take over, and it's just part of human nature. You know, I think I said it before, that human nature is created for nurturing and destruction. You look at look at the ancient world, look at ancient history, but also understand that for every service that we do provide, and we have to make into a law to protect people from themselves, we were also at one time, our ancestors were a society of barbarians, and we can be extremely cruel to each other. And that's the duality of man, that we are capable of just as much evil as we are of good. Keep up with the ride, come from a lot of heavy use, was a source of protection from neglect and abuse. So when you're at the point to where you're in that element of life, there were societal problems from the get-go. You were beaten, emotionally, where people didn't love you, they weren't around, they neglected you, they left you destitute, they left you desolate.
You were physically harmed more ways than one. This is for YouTube. I'm not going to go into how, but imagination is a powerful tool. And, you know, I'm explaining it from the perspective that either the pimp or the prostitute had to sleep in cars or be a runaway, breaking into cars to sleep, hide from the cold and rain, and just doing what they had to do to get a meal, you know, until they can find someone for comfort and safety. Then I said, and my bottom bitch trying to break her habit. Keep my dick in my stable, got 2 baby mamas, serve as a lifeline. Player of a lifetime. A lot of players have children from these same women that they put out on the street. And a lot of times these women be pregnant with their child. And these women are still out here in action, in service to the greater society. The worst of the greater society, the dark side of man. Here to capture a weak mind, or is it trauma bonding? Honoring the red code of the streets, or the real code of the streets. Elite tells living in hell, ups and downs, you know. Bound, never grounded, lost, never found. Grounded meaning, okay, we're going to rewind back. Here to capture a weak mind, or is it trauma bonding? You can say you're looking for someone weak, but it's the other person, it's the pimp, just as weak. Because that pimp could have got therapy. There is no therapy in a lot of worlds, right? So it's almost like misery loves company. The most miserable individuals will find another miserable person. They bond on self-destruction because of their lives, their life's past traumas. A lot of old players were children that were young boys who were neglected, abused by their caretaker, not necessarily by their mothers, but usually by a caretaker. And then when you have these women that are on their way out, a lot of times they want to make that last bit of money for themselves. They'll find a young man to be like, yeah, he's my protection. And that young man with a naive mind and an open heart dives feet first into a game that he knows not that he's playing. And until, he learns enough game, he's taught enough game to operate, from that woman, so that woman could, she'll teach you enough to where she can take advantage of you, but no one else will, because she wants to reap the benefit. And unfortunately, you have a lot of men who will be taken advantage of all their lives. Because, this is the thing about women. Women have generations of game where these men don't have their fathers, and they got to learn it from a woman. And a woman's only going to teach you what she wants you to know. So a lot of times you have these other veterans that'll come in there, take you aside. You usually find them when they're in the middle of in the throes of an addiction, or they give the game away for free, or you got to kick them money, because the game is to be sold, not told. And that's the major outcome of all of that. And that's what the song's about. I mean, it really doesn't have a lot of anything to it. It's just a situation in an endless sea of humanity, right? And that sea of humanity has good things. And in the future, I might be addressing this again. I might do future random loss case studies. We just analyzing humanity at its worst, or humanity at its lowest points. I mean, I could be exploiting traumas. I don't think so. But there'll be people, and I'm addressing it now. I mean, and it could be that, and that's fine if you think that, but I don't think I am. I'm being an artist. And this is creative vision. This is a one-verse song. So, like I said, I want to send a shout out to my Saba Son fam. And they know who they are. I shouted them out in other episodes because I've recorded this every day over a couple of whatever, and it's going to be spread out over a couple weeks. So, shout out to my Saba Son fam, and shout out to all my future collaborators between that first episode that's open into these other ones. And, yeah. Without further ado, this is Random Lost Case Studies, Part 3. Enjoy. And before you enjoy, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And the best way to support me is hit me up on my Bandcamp, Oktane and Diabolical Hideaway /bandcamp.com, or just go to Bandcamp and just type in Oktane. You'll see my face. You'll see a monster rising out of the water. I might change the logo, but between here and now, it might be changed. But yeah, best way to support me is that, or you can hit me in my Cash App and send me $1. I just want $1. Give me $1. Buy me coffee. But yeah. Here's the music. Peace.
This be the pressure cook up. When you look up, you fry. Denied all entries to the final life. Tears, stress, and stripes to the likes of a third world. Future examinations of the free clinical. The pinnacle of your day is after hours in a diner. Busted old gators must eat vagina. Small bags of the China white. Sell O's on the side. Keep up with the ride. Come from lots of heavy use. It was a source of protection from neglect and abuse. In my bottom bed, she's trying to break a habit. Keep my dick in my stable, got 2 baby mamas. They serve as a lifeline, player of a lifetime. Here to capture weak minds, or is it trauma bonding? Honoring the real code of the street shit. Elite tells of living in hell, up and downs. Bound, never grounded. Lost, never found, kid.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the marathon does continue, even though we have reached the season finale, for now, of Oktane Minutes podcast. We trek forward to the final song of the 9-track album, Slight Detour. One of my quickest endeavors, I must say, that I've created. And the 9-week campaign I am going on for this said campaign. So I'll probably be doing another album. I'll take a quick little I'm probably not even going to take time off. I'll probably just do it because they're such a, they're done in such advanced time. I don't need to take no time off. I just kind of can take, I'm on Easy Street. I left early, like as I always do in life. But anyway, we're going to cover Another Form, produced by the master, the genius that he is, master of the EPS 16 Plus, Mont Placebo, down there in South Florida, West Palm Beach, Broward-Dade County. The man who turned an Infiniti J30 into a Batmobile. Mont Placebo, one of the illest to ever do it. The cat, when we make music together, it's 96 RZA and Ghost. Always, forever. One of the illest, Mont Placebo. He produced this track. The way I can describe this track, and you're hearing the beat right now because it's playing down there, but it's kind of it's got a rolling synth. It's got like a creeping, fast-moving synth with the hook that has like another like synthesizer that kind of like, where if this sample saws, there's another contrasting sample that kind of weaves in and out of that when it goes into the hook. And you know, the bap goes the boom bap, you know. Amazing stuff that man makes. Can't thank him enough. So another form is basically just a song about me just persevering and pressing on and pressing hard on this mic, regardless of who tries to play on my name or who tries to think they want to battle me. I battle to make my point. I say my stuff back to you. You know, you got a lot of these like suckers out here who, frankly, I didn't even really want to work with. But you got a lot of these suckers out here who are perpetual 50, damn near 50-year-old crybabies who want to keep rapping, who want to quit rapping. They don't want to keep rapping. They act like they want to quit rapping. And they like to tell lies on themselves, but then get caught in the lie and then claim they're being disrespected. Then they want to send fake ass ominous messages about, you got one more time to disrespect me. But you got disrespected a whole bunch of times to your face live and you ain't do nothing. So what does that say? You know, I leave my comments open, G. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. You've been had a chance to come over here and say something, but you didn't. You say it in your little lame platform that's got like one or two little streams, whatever. You know, you think you're dope. You lying to yourself because you got these rappers that'll look at you with a straight face and think that you're one-dimensional when they deal with some of the wackest MCs and they features and then claim they don't need nobody. You know, whatever it's worth. Whatever makes you sleep at night, sucker. You know, I'm not a whiner and complainer. I'm a solutionist. I'm an absolutionist. I don't have problems. I only have answers. And if you think you're gonna change the question, I got an answer for everything. So I really play chess out here. I play chess and Monopoly at the same time. But if we go through the song, I ask, you know what I'm saying? I say, now let me ask you, are you hype? What's your life ambition? No praying, no hoping, no wishing. Just back on my mission through the hard days. Stack another bill, trying to chase another mill. Rocking mics in pavilions and small club. Started out 5 songs for a dub. When I was doing shows, you know what I'm saying? I was getting paid to do these shows when I was young. They'd be like, yo, come through 5 songs, we'll kick you some gas money. We just want to see you out here do your thing. And that's what's up. That was peace, you know. You had people that wanted to see me rock live on this mic, you know what I'm saying? And I'm soon going to get back to that. And when I do, when I'm traveling, it's a wrap for a lot of you guys. Small clubs and pavilions, that's how we used to do it. That's how we still do it at this point. Getting back to promoting, all bar quotable. Beyond the old local flow, nice with the style. Too many I'm hostile, whole beats hostage. The raw shit. On that real can't rock after me. Because on any given chance, my style's an avalanche. I'll just pile it on you. You know, I am not one to sit there and try to chase this unimaginable perfection in my stuff. I know what I'm going to make. And once I understand who I am in that moment, which is fairly quick, I get on the mic, I turn it on, and I get the writing, and I knock these verses down. I don't have writer's block. writer's block is not a thing for me. People who get writer's block aim to be someone who wants to impress. I do this for me firstly. I make the music I want to make. No disrespect to nobody else, but my wave is my wave, you know, and I do my thing, and I'm happy for that, and I'm happy for the man I have become in this rap shit, and I always will be proud of the man that I am. The fact that, you know, I can come to those conclusions and create like I create speaks volumes. You know, you got guys who will try to be like, oh, I don't want to do this, that, and the third. Man, bro, you can't chase perfection. Chase the art. Chase what you love. You know, enjoy the journey. You can take songs away. You can add more songs if you don't feel it's quite right. But it's going to get right faster than you think. You just got to be able to let go of the reins and just trust your ability. You know, you got these cats who will take forever to make an album, or they think they don't have enough life experiences. Your life experience is now. You above the ground, you now. You here. That's you right there. It's all you. You living. You experience things, drop your album. Make that shit happen. Pile on, dip, slip, show the gold vein. Took my one shot, rocket to the mainstream. That's real dope. That other shit is stamped on. Pharmaceutical, and that fillet is beautiful. You know? And it's business as usual. So I'm just saying, man, like, any opportunity I'm given in this rap stuff, I'm gonna make the most of it. So that's why I'm saying I do what comes to my mind, you know. I rap on my intrusive thoughts, so to speak, and I make things happen. I make it happen for myself. In verse 2 I say we go for broke on every quote. When I dip the quill, rake in the dollars, hit you with the hard, with the real. Doing this since Gas Face Serious in 93. The niggas who wanna hate surely ain't out grinding me. Get up on YouTube, mumble crying, telling lies. I'm getting me a publicist, something I like to see you try. Yeah, there's liars on YouTube. And I just want to let you know, your graphic design sucks. Your mixing skills suck. You're not really talented. You're very one-dimensional. You are damn near 50 years old. And you're trying to rap like a 24-year-old. Well, I got voice messages because they don't get erased on IG. Where you talk about, oh yeah, we the real vets of this underground stuff. You know, I am my wave. I have my sound. I ain't trying to bite nobody else. Remember, hip hop is about originality. And when I say be original, yeah, you can rap like you from the 90s, but I don't sound like I'm from the 90s. My sound has always been my sound. I've always sounded the same, and I've always done my thing. My sound is outside of time and space. My sound been off the clock. You know, there's cats that look out for me, man. I go out here and I'll try to build a street team, and I'm gonna do it. What are you suckers doing? Because it's all pedal to the metal, straight grind to die. I'll say, then I'll say, I'll stay, only bigger. I'll say what I say, and my stay is only bigger. Every album is a killer. See the percentages rolling in. Incentive and different. More shit dynamically. Never split amicably. I cause fault lines. Bro, I shake the world up. You know? I divide the earth. I create a speciation. I form mountains, rivers. I bring hailstorms, earthquakes. I shine gamma rays on the planet. That's what I do. You know, I am the atomic mind. Never fault of mine. I'm here to scorch the earth. Have her give birth and she only spout magma. When I show up, I got them scared like MAGA. You know? I take the world back through boom bap and a sound pack. That's me all day. You know? You know, and I mean, you know, like I said, I'm approachable. But just know you ain't gonna play me cheap. I take many different. If you think you kill one form, I'll take a different form. I can move through here. I know how to move through these streets. Can't say the same for y'all. You know, some suckers don't deserve no light, but I deserve it. The dragon deserves all the light. We deserve the whole planet. It belongs to us. We gonna be the ones that eat first. We gonna be the ones to eat first. There ain't no homeless, elderly rapper who steals money that's gonna steal, you know who's gonna steal from us and get away with it. Not unscathed. Oh, no. I'm a little hyped for this because this is the season finale and I wanted to finish strong when y'all get this in a couple of weeks. You know. This is being recorded March 13th, 2024 as we speak. So by the time you get this will be sometime in the summer. And it's hot out there, so drink plenty of water, bitch. But yo, I done spoke long enough, man. I want to send a shout out to all my brothers in the Saba Sun. I want to say, hit that Bandcamp, Oktane and Diabolical Hideaway, and at bandcamp.com, and that's a good way to support me. I have a Kunaki link I'll be posting on here, so you can hit me up on my IG. You can even hit me up on my if you want to support me and just show mad love, and hit me up on my my Cash App. It's $ Oktane Media, Oktane Media. Send me $1, and you can get some of this hip hop perfection. I damage any MC who step in my direction. I am Florida's best MC. Fuck what you heard. But yeah, man, I done talked enough shit on here, man. Without further ado, here's another form. Peace. I'll see y'all in season 2. Now let me ask, are you getting hype? What's your life's ambition? No praying, hoping, wishing, getting back on the mission, working through the hard day, stack another bill, trying to chase $1 million, rocking mics in pavilions, in small clubs, started out 5 songs for a dub, getting back to promoting, R-bar quoting, beyond the old local flow, nice with the style, to many I'm hostile, homies hostage, the raw shit, on the real you can't rock after me, because on any given chance, my style's an avalanche, pile on, dip, slip, show the gold vein, took my one shot, rocket to the mainstream. That's real dope. The other shit is stamped on. This is pharmaceutical. The feeling is beautiful. And once released, this is business as usual. This is business as usual. Not unusual. Form of power, I get it all. Plus I evolve. Never a problem I can't resolve. I kill it all. I kill it all. I kill them all. Form of power, I get it all. Plus I evolve. Never a problem I can't resolve. I kill them all. I kill them all. I kill them all. I kill them all. We go for broke
Dog on every single quote when I dip the quill, raking the dollar bills. Hit you hard with the real. Doing this since Gas Face Serious in 93. Niggas wanna hate, surely ain't out grinding me. Get up on YouTube, mumbling, telling lies. I'm getting me a publicist, a thing I like to see you try. Because it's all pedal to the metal, straight grind or die. I'll say what I say, my stay's only bigger. Every album is a killer. See the percentages rolling in. Inventive and different, move shit dynamically. I never spit amicably because I cause fault lines. I never fault mine. I'm here to scorch earth, and she give birth only to spit magma. I show up and got them scared like MAGA. I take the world back through boom bap and sound packs. Boom bap and sound packs. Boom bap and sound packs. Check it. From a power, I get it all. Plus I evolve. Never a problem I can't resolve. I kill them all. I kill them all. I kill them all. Form of power, I get it all. Plus I evolve. Never a problem I can't resolve. If not, I kill them all. I kill them all. I kill them all. Yeah.